Okay, so welcome everyone. So I encourage you, if you're an entrepreneur and you're tapped into this, you've been considering meeting us in Sedona at our event, that you take some notes because we're going to be sharing some powerful concepts with you today. These concepts have helped us go from working full-time jobs that we hated, right? Waking up every single day and doing something to fulfill the dreams and the goals of another person, right? I remember, so it was 2013 and I was working 40 plus hours a week. I was leaving my children every single day, which crushed me as a mother, right? I wanted to so badly to figure out this entrepreneur home business thing. And back then, it wasn't so much online, it was more like home business that I was learning, right? And I struggled with that because I didn't have natural sales skills and I didn't have really too many skills to be able to talk to people and stuff like that. So this was in the very beginning of my journey when I was just learning how to be an entrepreneur and how to sell products and stuff like that. And I just remember, on Sunday nights, I would get this feeling in the pit of my stomach of just dread, right? Monday morning was not a cool time for me, which is not a cool time for most people that aren't in control of their time, in control of their own economy. I knew tomorrow, oh, I got to go back to work, and I would be at work, I would be at my job. And before I started doing all the mindset work and stuff, I was just, I was miserable. I was driving there and just feeling like my life was out of control compared to what I wanted it to be, right? And then I started tapping into concepts of, personal development, spiritual development, law of attraction, the universal laws, and how to create my external world, how to create and mold and influence my external world through controlling my thoughts and becoming aware of what I was focusing on, becoming aware of what I was thinking about. And it wasn't actually until I met a mentor. This is a funny story, right? So in 2013, summer of 2013 is when Shawal and I met each other, right? And we met each other because we were in the same company, but we didn't know each other. It was an internet digital affiliate marketing company, and we were at an event in Denver, and we just happened to pass by each other, exchange information, and that was it. It was the end of the event, but we started connecting more online after that event. And at that moment, he was for a time period, he was a mentor to me because he was already full-time in his business. He was already seeing a lot of success and achieved the 5-figure months and all that stuff. And so I wanted to learn. I was like, oh, this is somebody who could teach me. I clearly identified this is someone who has what I want. He has the freedom that I want. He's generating the income that I want. He obviously knows something that I don't know. So let me just listen to what he has to say, right? And so he basically got into my psychology. Really, it wasn't anything real strategic or like practical that I changed, because my schedule was crazy. I would get up this was crazy. So I was working. I was also preparing for like a fitness photo shoot, because I at that time I wanted to be a fitness model. And so I would get up at sometimes at 4 or 5 a.m., right? And I would work out, and then I would get myself ready, and then I would get my children ready for school, and then I would go to work, and then I'd work all day, and then I'd come home, and then I would, sometimes I'd have dinner with my family, sometimes I wouldn't, and then I would sometimes do another workout at night, and then I would work on my business for like the last few hours or 3 hours, And so I was working hard, quote unquote hard, right? And I was doing everything that I could think to do, right? But what I was missing was the mindset piece. I was missing the belief piece of truly believing it was possible for me to succeed. And I was missing the skin in the game piece, where what he helped me identify is that I wasn't putting my resources into investing into myself. I was making excuses for that, right? I hadn't fully made the 100,000% decision that this was something that I was going to do. I was going to go full time in my business. And when he helped me make that, what it was an energetic and an emotional shift. No, stop it. It was an energetic and an emotional shift. Our daughter's calling over here right now. That helped me to lead me to a series of actions that I took, and within a 30-day period of having that emotional shift, that mental shift, I experienced my first $5,000 month, which was over double what I was making at my job. I decided I'm going to put in my 2-week notice. I'm going to leave this job. I'm going to fully invest. I'm going to fully believe that this internet thing can work for me. Looking back, I was like, wow, I was very courageous to do that, right? And, we don't always recommend that people quit their jobs right away unless they have a plan, right? Unless they have a strategy in place and everything is in alignment in their energy and their emotions. Hold on. So anyways, I share that with you to let you know that these principles that we share, this information that we teach, and these concepts that we share and teach, they're from experience, right? Like the life that I live today, if I could go and visit myself 10 years ago and say, I get up when I want to, I get up excited about life, I get up so on fire and passionate about what it is that I do in the world, I feel like I naturally attract money and resources and opportunities in exchange for just being who I am, doing what I love to do, sharing the information that I love to share, helping the people that ask me to help them. It's all a very natural process. It's nothing that's forced, which brings me to the first point. So when you're out of your Dharma, what it feels like is forcing. What it feels like is pushing. It feels like just trying to make something happen. It feels like you're really just, you're literally grinding, right? You're grinding. What does that even mean? Think about it. When you're grinding something, like if you have a mortar and pestle and you put the nuts in there or whatever you're putting in there, the spices, and you're grinding it, right? Maybe that's what it feels like in your business right now, right? So you can also be someone who is successful, right? You're making good money at your job. You're making good money in your business or whatever, but you can still be out of your Dharma, because Dharma it's not always about the amount of money that you're making. It's about the holistic flow of it. So the actual definition of Dharma is in Hinduism and in Buddhism, the definition of it, or the meaning of the word, is behaviors that are in harmony with order and customs that sustain life and virtue. My personal definition is your Dharma is a frequency. It's an expression that an energy that flows through you, and it's this frequency that you tune into through your body, through your mind, through your spirit. You tune into it, and what happens is that you feel like everything is flowing, right? You feel like you're no longer forcing. Feel like things are coming with ease. The opportunities are showing up for you, right? Ideas are coming to you, and you're not really having to force yourself to think about what you should do next. It's flowing to you. You take action on it, and it's like a flow and a cycle. Like what I experience in my business is I get ideas, and they're exciting, and then I take action on them and I do them, and it's enjoyable. Every step of the process is enjoyable, from the time that I'm just being myself to the time that I get an idea to the time that I go and implement that idea. And it's a whole cycle of, it feels exciting, it feels enjoyable, it feels easy, it feels natural, right? And that's what I believe that we're bringing forth in this. You can call it the new earth economy, the 5D economy, you can call it whatever label you want to bring it, right? But the economy as it is right now today in this society, when you look or think about it, right, you probably have certain preconceived definitions or things about the economy. It's transforming, and it transforms through us as people, right? We can't depend on the president or the people who are in government in our city or our state governments or anything like that. We can't depend on any of them to hopefully one day they'll change it where it's all good for everyone, right? No, it starts within ourselves, right? It starts within us making a new decision about what is it that we really want in our life. So if I could write down steps for you, and the way that I teach sometimes is kind of like all over the place, but I always bring it back, right? So the first step is clarity. And then I'm gonna ask Shawal to elaborate on what clarity means to him, and we could both share. What I'll do is I'll bring the steps, and then we could both talk about them. All right. So the first one is clarity. So you really have to know what it is you want, and be very clear about that. And do not define it as what you think is probably possible based on the past. Like, that's the worst mistake you can make. And most people are working from that place. Oh, based on this that I did over here, maybe this is possible. No, what do you really truly want to be? Do you want to be a musician? Do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be a writer? Do you want to be a content creator? Do you want to be a healer, a holistic health person? Like, what do you want to do? The clarity on that is so important, right? So here's a great exercise to do to help you to get clear, right? So I want you to imagine, and this isn't something you figure out immediately and you snap your fingers and boom, it's done. This is a process, right? But this is the beginning of the process. And that's why it helps to have a coach, or it helps to have somebody that can help you walk you through, who's been through this process themselves, so you can actually start it and then continue through the entire process. So clarity, right? So knowing exactly what you want, deciding, because it's a decision. Once you clarify what it is that you want, you make the decision that this is what I'm going to move forward into, or what I'm going to achieve, right? But the exercise is, I want you to imagine that I just wrote you a check, right? You can mute yours too, hon. You can mute it on your side. Thank you. I just wrote you a check for $1 million. And not only that, and it just got deposited into your bank account. So $1 million is deposited into your bank account. And I just wrote you an agreement that, you know, I like you so much that I'm going to write you a check also, or I'm going to set up a direct deposit into your account for $10,000 every month. So not only I just gave you this $1 million because, you know, I'm so abundant. I just want to share with you. And I'm going to give you this $10,000 every single month. And I'm going to give it to you for 3 years. Okay. So you've got the $1 million in your bank. You know $10,000 is coming in no matter what, every single month for the next 3 years, right? Feeling that this is true and this has actually happened to you, I want you to pay attention and ask yourself, what is it I would do with my time? What is it that I would do? What kind of projects would I work on? What would I do with my life? I'm now free from, and this is why this is so important, right? Because a lot of times we sacrifice what we're truly passionate about, what our not our purpose, but our mission and assignment truly is, for the sake of generating income at a job or generating income through maybe even a business that we're not completely, like, you can be successful in a business and be out of your Dharma. Like I said, you can be successful in generating a lot of income in your business, but if you're feeling that force, if you're feeling that grind, if you're feeling that lack of fulfillment, I'm showing up, I'm doing what I'm doing in my business, but there's something missing, there's some kind of emptiness happening, I'm not, you know, I'm still struggling with depression, anxiety, or whatever it might be, that's there as a signal, like a warning light. You know, we have cars and they have little lights come on to tell us different things, check engine or whatever. Our emotions and these feelings of lack of fulfillment are there as signals to show us, hey, something is off, something is not right, right? And depression is one of those. Depression is one of those signals, and it's actually the end point of a very earlier signals. Depression, when you find yourself in depression, and I can speak from this because I've been there, it's usually there's little things that just have added up, and we didn't pay attention to it, and then it turns into this big, heavy state, not a disease, right? It is a dis-ease, right? Because we're out of ease with what we should truly be. And what it is it's a mixture of feeling out of control of our external circumstances, and also just out of alignment. Could be a misalignment in our body. Could also, usually it's a mixture. It's a mixture of out of alignment in our body, out of alignment in our mindset and our thoughts and what it is that we're focusing on, and then in our energy itself is out of alignment, right? But when we bring these 3 areas together into alignment, which is the next step, once you have clarity and you decide, okay, if I had all this money and if I had freedom of time, I would do this, right? So I want you to think about that and contemplate that. It's the first assignment that we could give you, is think about that truly. What would it be that you would do? And don't say, like, because some people, and I don't think anyone on here would say something like this, but a lot of people might say, well, I would just, go to an island and just hang out on the island and do nothing, right? But you might do that for maybe like a week or something like that. But after 7 days of like really not having to do anything, this feeling would once again, because it's not money that you want, right? It's not money that you want. It's the exchange that you can make in the world, the experiences that you can have and create for others. It's what money can do for you, what it can empower you to do in the world and experience in the world that you truly want. It's ultimately the feelings, right? The feeling state. Maybe it's safety, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's whatever. You can fill in the blank for whatever it is for you. That's what you truly want. It's not truly the money, right? So don't tell me that you go sit on an island, because maybe you do that for a little bit, but that's not what you would inevitably do. You would do something. You would work on something that's creative, right? And I want you to find what that is.